shift gears to my boys now. Bill Belichick. This Patriots defense, man, it just continues to make a whole mockery out of the Chargers and everything they stand for.
Correct.
And they just put that in perspective. They've now won 10 of the last 11 meetings against the Chargers. I mean, that goes all the way back to the 2006 playoffs.
Right.
So, I mean, this goes back to the Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson teams, all the way up to the current Justin Herbert, and they're surging forward. Last year, they beat them 45-0. This year, it was at least a tight matchup, and it was a 3-point game.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they can't beat New England. The
Correct.
only win they have since 2006 was in 2008 when it was Matt Castle.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only W you can get. And that was a tight game.
Yep.
It's like Bill Belichick has something up his sleeve for the Chargers that is just unparalleled.
Yeah.
So the question now is, are the Patriots starting to turn a corner as they reach the second half of the season?
I have to say, yeah, because, you said it, they're sitting at 4-4 right now, and they just beat a good Chargers team. There's no question. And we know the Chargers are 4-3, but we know the defense they have. They can improve on the run, but we've seen the offensive side of the ball. We talked about the Chargers up here before. But the fact that New England has won 3 of their last 4 games, and, they took the Cowboys and the Bucs absolutely down to the wire. You're talking about 19 points against the Bucs and then 24 points against the or 24 points against the Chargers, excuse me, if I'm not mistaken. But when you talk about, excuse me,
27. It was 27-24.
Right. Yeah. Y'all scored 27, but the fact, giving up 24 and then only giving up 19 to Tampa Bay. I'm just speaking to, the defense there for Bill Belichick, having them at 8th in points per game and tied for 3rd in takeaways. That still holds true to this New England team. And we know who they are. We've seen it in the past. Like, even when Brady was at his peak, we weren't dealing with immense, monsters on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, you had your few playmakers, but it's all about the coaching, the chemistry, the schemes. We know about the Patriot way. We've always talked about it. But you want to talk about Mac Jones actually being trusted a little more and progressing some each week. 1 interception in his last 3 games. He's only lost 1 fumble all year, and he's 8th in the NFL in passing yards. I didn't even believe that when I looked it up, because Mac Jones isn't out here slinging the ball. I mean, for perspective, he's only 300 yards behind Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's got 2,200 passing yards right now in the NFL, so he's out here. Exactly. There you go. So he's out here balling, producing, being consistent. And when you talk about if the team didn't have a fumble in the team, or excuse me, if they didn't have a holding call and then a red zone fumble in that game, you're talking about the Patriots potentially going away with it. So Mac Jones is stepping up every week. We know what the defense is. And I mean, there's no true differences from the Belichick side of things. It's just, okay, how is the offense going to fall in? I know we wanted to see them make some moves at the deadline, and hell, who knows what they would have been. We got some people buying in at 4-4. Imagine if, you've said it, if there was Cam, if there was more receivers here. So definitely the Patriots are a team to keep your eye on in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has really been playing lights out. The offense is starting to show a little bit of promise. I mean, they're giving Mac a little bit more leeway and letting him throw deeper balls. I mean, the receivers it's the unlikely cast. Like, he's really throwing, he really likes Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
You would have thought it would have been Kendrick Bourne or Nelson Aguilar. N'Keal Harry, he makes an appearance every blue moon.
Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry.
His passes are going to Jacoby Myers and Hunter Henry.
Yep.
Those are his 2 guys.
Yep.
Well, between that and all the running backs. He throws the ball to the running backs quite a bit.
Right.
But it's like, I mean, they're incorporating a lot of trickery in the offense. The defense has been showing up and looking very stout. I mean, they have really gone back to the bend but don't break philosophy.
100%.
You can move the ball between the 20s, but once you get there, it's very hard to get points against them.
Right.
I mean, it is like things are starting to look up for them. I mean, they've got the Panthers, a reeling Browns team, at the Falcons, Titans with no Derrick Henry. So, like, with those 4 games coming up, if they take those 4 games, you go from, what were they, 2-4 to now being 8-4?
Right.
I mean, that'd be a ridiculous turnaround for a season. And Mac Jones is starting to be more a part of it, because beforehand it was like, hey, look, we beat the Jets twice. The defense really was the catalyst behind most of that.
Right.
So, but he's been showing a lot more promise. He's absolutely front runner for, well, I can't say he's front runner for Rookie of the Year, because there's a guy named Jamar Chase.
Right.
But if he turns the team around and they actually get that record like it is, then it'll be really tight.
Good contention.
And, the nod goes to the quarterback.
Right.
So even if at the end of the year you're like, man, but Jamar did it all season.
Right.
If Mac turns New England around like
Mac's
that.
accountable for wins. Jamar Chase isn't necessarily.
Yeah. Like
they're easier to see.
The nod's going to go to the quarterback.
Right.
So, I'm definitely liking what they're cooking right now.